Recording in progress.
Good afternoon and namaste. I'm Yadu from Nepal and currently presenting from Nepal. This afternoon, I'm talking on reforming English language teacher education in Nepal, prospects and challenges. My presentation includes introduction, prospects, challenges, and some future directions regarding second language teacher education in context of Nepal. We speak teacher education is for the preparation for the teachers. We dealt on these issues, and these issues especially focus how teachers can develop themselves for the mature learning situations or learning cycles. In this way, we can talk that this is teacher education is especially the framework of ideas to enhance professionalism in foreign language teaching that may be pre-service or in service. In other sense, we can say that teachers are highly responsible to create the new context in the learning situation. With the situation, they can frame out the new realities in the learning culture. So that language learning, language teaching, teacher training, practice, implementation, monitoring, these relevant issues are highly concerned towards the teacher education, not only in the fields of language learning and language teaching in all fields. Therefore, in Nepal, English is teaching as a second language context. In the sense that we can find there are some terms of MTI effects because the Nepali speakers use Nepali as their first language. While pronouncing the words, while developing vocabularies, while using vocabularies, they may have the impact from their first language. This is natural, not only for the Nepalese learner, that is for all the learners around the globe who are learning the language as the second language. That's why teacher education, in terms of second language teacher education, that is very important to integrate learning to socially negotiated context. It's obvious. We need to be ready to adjust ourselves towards the socially appropriate context. Well, we can form the various types of knowledge, various forms of knowledge. For example, our teacher need to be equipped with content knowledge, contextual knowledge, knowledge of values, technological knowledge, and pedagogical concerns. Therefore, the teacher education powerfully refer to the sectors of language learning and in the language teaching as being one of the part of the responsibility sharing. Therefore, there are several dimensions associated with constructive thoughts, and these constructive thoughts are one of the parts of the teacher education. Like the teacher, whenever we see the history of the teacher education from beginning to now, we can find different modification, such as in the past, there was some lack of trainings. In the past, there were lack of sharing cultures. But nowadays, in teacher education, we are getting more sharing cultures and teachers are getting more exposure for their professional developments because the current trends are advocating with the things. Yes, we are talking in the change views. That's why to address the change view, there needs to reform the teacher education system. Like rather than the classroom-based teacher education systems, need to go toward the sharing-based, need to develop to the research-based, need to develop to the workshop-based. And the most powerful factor is the experience. Like we have the categories of novice teachers and the experienced teachers. Novice teachers need to get the opportunity to gain over from the experienced one. And experience not in the terms of the years, experience in terms of their workforce, how they work, what intervention they develop, how they are calculating their values themselves. So that the main issues regarding the teacher education that we need to reform, we need to categorize interpretivism. Just we have to move from positivism to the interpretivism. Do not see from one angle. Do not see from only the theory based. See from one's perspectives. Do not use, always do not use the glasses of the others. Sometimes use your own glass. You sometimes use your own perspectives. That's why we need to interpret the situation, interpret the classroom situation, interpret the curriculum situation, and interpret a holistic situation to reframe the new culture. Next key issue is the social construction. Yes, teacher has the value to construct social values, social norms, social realities. So teacher is being a part of the social construct. They have to know about the social norms and values and different prospects that are related with society. Because society, person, culture, their doings, and other surroundings are highly relevant with these things. Yes, now we without doubt we can say digital transformation is also one of the key area for the reformation. Nowadays, teachers need to have the technological knowledge. So only content knowledge and pedagogical knowledge cannot work. For this thing, we have to transform them towards the digital fields, and teachers need to develop the digital awareness, digital consciousness, and digital ethics that should be incorporated in the teacher education paradigms. Very important thing is the parental psychology. Yes, due to the parental attitude, parental psychology, the learners, what kinds of environment the learners are getting, we can guess ourselves, because it is called that a learner is the mirror of the family. A learner is a learner is the mirror of the family in the sense that a learner can reflect the whole of the family, how the parents behave. What is the parental psychology? Not only the learner psychology. Just now, today's curriculum is focusing learner psychology, but it doesn't impact more because learner psychology is connected with the parental psychology. So the teachers need to know about the parental psychology, social justice, and responsibility. This is the very important key issue for the teacher education. We are doing the work for the social justice. There need to be, we are talking about equality, we are talking about equity, we are talking about this, and that should not be only limited to the talks. That need to go towards the implementation phase. Regarding teachers responsibility, what's my responsibility? Is my responsibility is to go inside of the classroom and come outside from this? Obviously no. Teachers responsibility is not connected with the content. Teachers' responsibility is connected with behavior, with attitude, with content, with context, and the current situation and the current trends. That's why these key issues need to be well addressed. So, with regard these key issues and some background information, we can develop some of the prospects to reform. Pedagogical shift. Just now we are talking. We are moving from pedagogy to pedagogy. This means what? This movement is making learner more active, especially pedagogy, pedagogy, andragogy that we are talking on. But this is the main motion of the talk is to make learner active, to make learner responsible. That's why we have to develop the culture of making responsible thoughts, making the responsible cultures. In this concern, we are highly valuable if we can address these things. This is the pedagogical shift. And this shift take place with reference to need of the current context, learners, society, values, and cultures. COVID situation and post effects, especially we have to reform interventions with the impact of the COVID situations and what are their post impacts. Due to the COVID situation, there was the pandemic in all of the world, and this whole world developing different research agenda. Like in context of Nepal, there is also the need. And in Nepal, in Nepalese context, we also can find some resources which were done during the COVID phases, and they are providing some suggesting values that need to be addressed. Digital infrastructure need to be developed. This is the need because with the development of the technological tools into the classroom, like teachers are found using technological tools in the classroom, but either they are using these technological tools for their professional development or not. This is one of the question. This is one of the question, and we have to think. We are responsible to think about the implementation of the digital technology for the professional development. For this, the first thing, first initiation is the digital infrastructure. We need to develop this. Social inclusion. Yeah, we have to include everyone. We should not divide the people due to their different strata. We have to try to them bring together for learning. We can we can develop the different realm as per their needs. This is one part, means including learners to one learning cycle. Next thing, we have to include the old values. Old value. What the old values are? These old values are the needs to include in the education system, in the learning system. Then collaboration, this is very important part of the teacher education. In new perspectives, we have to develop collaborative efforts. Like the teachers of Nepal, teachers of Japan, teachers of America, teachers of India can collaborate and develop their project, develop their intervention, and can apply the fields in the areas. Regional representation is obviously because this is highly related with the interpretive visions by which the teacher can ideate the different ideas and can implement into the classroom. That sorts of things need to be included in case of the reforming the teacher education in second language context. Similarly, we discussed already about implementation of new intervention. We can find during the COVID situation, we implemented several interventions into teaching and learning field that need to be applied seriously to bring change into the classroom. Similarly, social recognition and models are very important things because we are teaching for social recognition. We are learning for social recognition. We are adjusting ourselves for social recognition because we are learning why means to gain the social values. That's why it is highly necessary and we have to develop some appropriate models according to the context. Whenever we are doing these things, really we can get some of the challenge. Without challenge, there are no things. And we teachers need to face the challenges. One need to be ready to face the challenges. One, if we feel fear to face the challenges, I think myself, if I feel this, I'm not a teacher. I'm not a teacher. If I feel fear to face the challenges, one, there might be any situation, there might be any issues, and I must face. That's why I'm the teacher. There are several like policy related challenges. We want to develop this, but policy is hindering us. For this, we have to talk with the policymakers. Pedagogical challenges we cannot apply into the classroom due to large size of classroom, due to due to learner diversity, and due to different factors of other teachers like peer teachers. Technology based challenges such as we may not have adequate knowledge, that must be we may have some digital gaps, we may not have access, we cannot afford this, like such kinds of challenges may appear. Then research based challenges, like especially now we can find no more concern towards the research values and taking that research as a big issue. But in every seconds, in every moments, we are doing the research and we are not bringing out this is only our. That's why to face these challenges we must be ready. There are certainly challenges, we must be ready ourselves, and we must try to get with the stakeholders and to the responsible thoughts. Then after we can face these ideas very easily and we can reform the teacher education, never escape from the challenges, make the challenges for the guiding principles, then after we can develop this. That's why we have to develop the teaching excellence rather than teaching degree or pre-service trainings for the teachers. We need to adapt new trends and episteme because new episteme are developing and getting. We need to update ourselves. Practical activities need to be implemented. Policy need to be reformed. Context-based practice, yes, especially I want to focus toward the context-based practices because the strategy that is formed in Nepal, because Nepal, we know Nepal is diversified. This is multilingual country, multi-ethnic group we can find. We have different natural resources. So we can say that this divergent values of our countries require divergent strategies. This means what? The different strategies into the different places. Like the strategy that we develop for Kathmandu may not be applied for Jumla because the context of Jumla and context of Kathmandu is the different. Then it is very essential to develop research initiatives. If we can develop research initiatives, really we can solve many of the problems there. And important thing is another that the teacher evaluation need to be concerned in terms of knowledge, research, and pedagogical capacities of the teachers that need to be updated. And we have to teach for the social justice. If we do these things, these are what? These are some of the future assumptions we can do. We can develop these things. Therefore, at the end, I want to say that teacher education provides information, ideas for the practical values, not for the theoretical concerns. We have to develop the theoretical theoretical perspective for the guidelines and practical perspective for the value creation. That's why, in context of the second language teacher education, we need to develop from the parameters of social justice, social responsibility, and our capabilities. We have to provide information because we need to provide the right information to the right time in the sense that we can develop the right strategy for the learner's values with the learner of this 21st century because the learners of 21st century wants 21st century. By saying this, I would like to thank you for this opportunity and I welcome your feedback, comments, questions, and I will try to address the questions as well. And at the end, again, namaste from Nepal, and I would like to thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you very much.